Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. First things first, can I just say I am so shocked that this month is finally over because it took forever. But anyways, hi guys, my name's Kiana. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, how are you doing? If you're one of my old subscribers, mwah, hello my babies. Today what we're going to be doing is my TBR for February. I haven't recorded my wrap up for January yet. It's like the Saturday before the end of the month, and I decided to record this really fast. In the month of February, I believe I read like 7, maybe 8 books. I'm not sure yet. So I have a pretty big TBR. It's like right here. You see where my hand's at? It's like a drop right there. Of books. I really believe I can read them. Some of them are pretty books. Some of them tiny. I can flip them really quick because some of them are contemporaries and whatnot. I don't have a specific order of how I want to read them, but let's just go ahead and get started with the video. Of love, I want to read Heartless by Marissa Myers. I bought this in June of 2017. I have wanted to read it ever since. I just finished last year the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Myers, and I want to read this. So this is basically another retelling, but about, of course, the Queen of Hearts. It is basically, her name's Catherine, and in this story, she wants to be a baker and open up her own shop, but she is so beautiful that her parents think that she can charm the king of hearts, and so she does so. But then she starts to fall in love with the jester, I think the jester of the court, and she starts to do a secret courtship with him, from what it tells me, and then things take off from there. I'm very interested in reading this, and this is the #1 that I really want to get to in the month of February. Second book I want to read. I finally read the first book last month. You will see it more in my wrap up. It's like one of these books, and that will be Prodigy by Marie Lu. I read Warcross in October, and I read the first book, Legend, last month. I have bought this book my birthday month, I think. I don't know. I'll leave up in the eye well, over here in the eye. I don't know which one of these which book haul I hauled this in. Loved rereading the first book. I read like maybe 20 pages the first time I tried to pick this up, and I just wasn't at the time interested in reading the second book. Clearly I really want to read this. It's basically what the first book is about. It's about 2 different characters. Day, who is basically a fugitive for the Republican of America, and June is basically the prodigy of them. She scored a perfect score, and her mission was to find Day because they believe that he killed her brother. That wasn't the case. And so it picks up right where it leaves off. Cannot wait to read this so I can finally read the ending. Well, read this because I've never finished this, and then read the third book, and I cannot wait. The third book is to finish I have so many rereads going on, guys. I put my hold on the Throne of Glass one. I put a hold on it so I can read some of the other books because they're pretty big books. I haven't forgotten what happened. Next month I will pick that back up. Let's carry on with this TBR. The third book will be The Titans Curse by Rick Riordan. This is the third book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian. After what happened in book 2, with the tree and everything, this takes place and we get introduced to more of the gods in this book. In every single book we get introduced to a certain amount of gods. Like in book 1. Book 1 was Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Ares, and one of the others. And the second one, and the second book, it was Hermes. We got introduced to. Got to see Ares again. Got introduced to one of the gods that Mr. D worked with that got abolished. And I think it was hepatitis. Hepatitis? I don't know. I'll probably edit this part out. But the third book, basically, from what it says in the back, is when Percy Jackson receives an urgent distress call from his friend Grover. He immediately prepares for battle. He knows he'll need his powerful demigod allies at his side, his trusty brown sword, Riptide, and a ride from his mom. The demigods race to rescue to find that Grover has made important discovery. 2 new powerful half-bloods, whose parentage is unknown, but that's not all of that awaits. The Titan Lord Kronos has set up a devious trap, and the young heroes have just fallen prey. I think this is when we get introduced to my baby, and if it is, I'm gonna be so happy, but I believe it is. The first time I read this, I love this book the most because we got introduced to those two characters. If you read this before, you know who I'm talking about. If you haven't, stick tight. Absolutely loved reading this the first time. I'm loving my reread, and I cannot wait. The fourth book is a really big book. And it is... It's literally 870 pages, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's for my other reread I'm doing. Guys, I have a lot of reread going on. You should check them out with me, and that is The Order of the Phoenix, Book 5, J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter's 5th year when he tries to tell everybody that Lord Voldemort is back, but nobody believes him, and they create the secret, you know, Dumbledore's army. The Order of the Phoenix gets back together, and I loved this book the first time I read it. It broke my heart because we all know what happens. I'm gonna cry a lot with this one, guys. I feel like I should do a vlog style of how I'm reading this when things go down. Yeah. The 5th one is not my reread, but I'm doing it anyways, and it is with Emma from Emma Books. I will link it down below for you guys to follow, and that will be City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, Book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series. I read Book 1 finally. I read Book 1 finally last month. Absolutely loved it. Cannot wait to do this. Book 1 is basically about a girl named Claire Frey who she thinks is human, but she's actually not. And when she goes to the club with her friend Simon, she sees the three shadow hunters, Jace, Isabel, and Alec, killing a demon, and she gets troped and roped into that world and finds out her mom isn't who she thinks she is, and her dad really isn't dead, and the person who helped raise her isn't who she really thinks he is. Book 1 ended really okay. I rated that one, I think, like a 3-4 stars. Don't remember. You'll see more of it in my wrap-up. Absolutely loved it. Cannot wait to do read the second book, guys. And this one is very short. Check this out. It's very short. I feel like this will be my first read of February, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. I think that's how you say her first name. It is basically, from what I hear all over, because that is why I want to read this book, it's basically a land where a lot of kids who go through some problems at home go there, and like for some of them it could be like 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, and then they're led back into the real world, and they're trying to tell their parents like, listen, this really happened, but the parents don't believe him. A lot of people love it, and I want to see what all the hype is about, so I decided to check this out from the library. I was supposed to read this in January, didn't get to it. Really want to read it. So much glare though, guys. I feel like I have to aim it like that. On my TBRs, I'm fucking crazy. The 8th book I want to read, I read it, the first book, back in, I want to say April, May, possibly, is Ever the Brave by Erin Summerall. I think that's how you say her name. I loved the first book. The first book was basically about a girl named Britta. Her name is Britta. Her father goes missing. It was supposed to be like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. That's why I checked it out. She goes and she tries to find her father because her father was a royal guard. And she tries to figure out, a lot of people say that he was killed, but they don't know by who. They think it was by her best friend who was his apprentice. And my dog just walked in, guys. And she finds out that it really wasn't. It was the king's personal guard. You know, that really isn't a spoiler. And this is the second book where, I don't know what happens in the second book. I've been waiting for this to come out, and I'm so excited to finally read it. In the month of February is Always and Forever Laura Jean. If you guys had seen my first ever unhaul, I will link it here or there, whatever it is. I loved the first book, hated the second book, and then it made me unhaul it because of how much I hated the second book. But then a lot of people love the third book. If you don't know what To All the Boys I Loved Before Trilogy is about, it is about a girl named Laura Jean who, for every guy that she loved, she wrote a letter thinking that it would help with her not loving them anymore. And someone sends them all out, and in the first book they all come back to her, and she has to choose between 2 people, and she does. And then the second book, it's like her having to choose again after problems happen. And I think that's why I didn't like the second book a lot, because it was like, okay, she chose, why is she still having problems? The third book is her senior year in high school. She doesn't know where she's going to college. She doesn't know how she's going to handle it with her her father having another child sent away. Cannot wait to read it. I loved the family dynamic, the sister relationship in this. I really have mixed feelings about how I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna try to go in there open-minded, but at the same time, I don't know. Oh, this is heavy. So these are all the books I plan on reading in the month of February. If you want to read any of these books with me, you can, and I will see you guys in a new video. Bye.